This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's podcast.
89 laps into this one, already raced his way up into the 7th spot.
And he has raced and passed some very good race cars as he has a very dicey moment right now. 3 lap cars right in front of him. The 40 of Altman getting out of the way. And he's able to get around the 48 as well with no problem there. But, yeah, Grant Enfinger, I would have thought by the first caution, if he was inside the top 10, he'd be happy with that. But not Grant Enfinger. He has raced his way inside the top 10 and wanting to work his way inside the top 5 now.
Already worked his way past Brandon Jones in that number 25 car, just past Matt Tifft in Kenny Schrader's number 52. Grant Enfinger, I'm thinking, may not need the help of a caution flag to work his way up and make a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, we have a car up against the wall in turn 3 and 4. It is the 81 car of Kevin Campbell. He had that problem. It started Charlie in turn 2, as we see, got up out of the groove and hit the wall there, and that tire let go. Austin Wayne Self, we talked about him. He was the only leader that was on pit road outside that top 10.
We see him stacking up there off of turn number 2. Everybody doing a good job to avoid major trouble right there. The big loser in that one going to be Clay Greenfield in the number 55. You see Clay now working his way through the bottom of turns 3 and 4 off the pace. Clay Greenfield bringing that car to pit road. Tough break for Clay Greenfield in the number 55.
And you really have to feel for him, Charlie. I mean, he wanted to put together a solid run here as we see the caution out for the second time here this afternoon.
There we see the incident there, Tim, and unfortunately they came right up on the back bumper.
They qualified in the 2nd position. Unfortunately, had to start at the rear of the field after not going through pre-qualifying inspection. So it looked like maybe the cards were stacked against them. However, it didn't take that 23 car long to get to the front, but right now in a solid position to try and make that history come true here.
As we heard from Kristen Beat down on pit road, it seemed like it was just a few laps ago, but it was a long time ago. This has been a long green flag run. Everybody was really wanting to come on down pit road with 50 to 60 laps to go to bolt on those 4 fresh tires for a run to the finish. As we see some problems here on the front straightaway. Tommy Hessert getting turned sideways. And Tim, this caution flag is exactly what I was talking about. This is going to give everybody that opportunity to come on down pit road and slap on those 4 fresh tires and make a run to the finish. The unfortunate thing is, as we see a replay here, Tommy Hessert getting hooked in the right rear and bouncing it off the outside wall here at the start-finish line. Just a tough break for Tom Hessert, who was still having a pretty good solid top 10 run here tonight. Arca Racing Series career, but this young man transitioning into that Cunningham Motorsports team. Cunningham, of course, transitioning to the Arca Ilmore 396 engine. As such, they made the switch from the Dodge body to the Ford body. And, despite all of the changes, no shock at all to see that 22 car running near the front of the field.
No, not at all, especially with Kyle Weatherman. We documented the successes he had here within the Arca Racing Series back in 2013, coming in, making a very immediate impact, finishing 4th in his debut, then 2 runner-ups later that year at 2 of the hardest racetracks, Salem Speedway and Iowa Speedway. A little bit of a growing pain last year and really helped him as a race car driver behind the wheel. You can tell he's having fun tonight. He's been nothing but all smiles, enjoying another top 5 run with Cunningham.
Both of these cars have Arca Ilmore 396 engines under the hood. Both of them made the move to the new composite Gen 6 body. Both of these cost-saving moves instituted by Arca in the offseason, both completely optional at this point, as we see plenty of the old Gen 4 style cars still out on the racetrack. We do see plenty purpose-built engines still underneath the hoods of these race cars. We're kind of letting these teams kind of cycle through their equipment as needed. But eventually, everybody's going to make the move to the Gen 6 body. Everybody's going to transition into that Arca 396 engine. And the cost savings really will kick in when everybody's able to make that move.
And that's the big thing. I mean, speaking with some of these smaller teams like Kimmel Racing, as we see leader Grant Enfinger, now we're quickly coming up 12 laps to go. He's running the older body, as we see. They elected to run the old body instead of the composite body we were talking about. But it's a cost-saving move that's going to help some of these smaller race teams like Kimmel Racing. It's going to help them be able to piece together a car in their shop rather than have to send it away to North Carolina to get some of these race car parts fixed.
Grant Enfinger coming across the start-finish line to complete lap 189. 11 laps to go here in the Troop Aid 200. Right now, I don't believe that Matt Tift is going to have anything for him unless Grant Enfinger catches some traffic in an inopportune manner. Looks like right now he is just kind of working his way through traffic as needed. Very reminiscent to some of the performances we saw Grant have last year on some of these short tracks.
Oh, just absolutely dominating performance. Last year led 184 of 200 laps at Mobile to win his second Mobile 200 there. Won Elko Speedway. First time, never saw the racetrack, just like here today. Never saw this racetrack until practice today. That test session got rained out. But he is so dominant on the short tracks in the ARCA Racing series. It's remarkable.
Seriously, a short track specialist. And you know what? You can't just call him a short track. He's good everywhere. He wins at Daytona. He wins on the dirt. We saw him pick up a surprise win at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds last year. Grant has really turned into a very solid race car driver. Been a lot of fun to watch because for a long time we didn't necessarily know if he was ever going to get that first ARCA Racing Series win. But as you said, Tim, once he got that first one, it's been Katie bar the door and open the floodgates because they haven't stopped coming. And if Matt Tift is going to keep him out of victory lane here tonight, he's going to need some help from something. An act of nature here is going to have to happen before too long because Grant Enfinger, as we talked about Kyle Weatherman earlier in the race, looks like he is in a different area code here tonight.
Yeah, he is. And this, Grant Enfinger had to come from the rear of the field. And, typical Grant Enfinger pace, he just really saves his equipment really well.
Grant is one of those guys that can really run hard, but he doesn't abuse the equipment. That's really the key to Grant Enfinger's success. He's fast, he's smooth, but he doesn't tear up a lot of equipment, and he really, really takes care of that equipment. And, as we were talking about, Tim, we're on the verge of seeing some history here. This is something that Frank Kimmel has not been able to do. Tim Steele has not been able to do. Going back to when I was a kid, this is something that Davey Allison wasn't able to do. And, of course, Davey went on to be a Daytona 500 winner. Starting 2 consecutive seasons with 3 consecutive wins, it's kind of a big deal. And Grant Enfinger is, 3.5 laps from history here tonight.
Especially the ARCA Racing Series, the rich history they have. They've been around over 63 years, and nobody has been able to accomplish it. Just
not Iggy Katona.
Yeah, not even
Moose
Iggy.
Myers, not Marv Smith. This is a very big deal, and we see Grant Enfinger kind of patiently working his way through some of these lap cars. He's got a couple of faster lap cars directly in front of him as he comes to complete lap 198. Just 2 laps to go here in the Troop Aid 200 for leader Grant Enfinger. You see him working his way through turns 1 and 2, keeping that car right in the middle of the racetrack, gingerly working his way down the backstretch as he moves into the right behind Richard Altman there in that number 40 car. Altman moves to the high side. That's going to allow Grant Enfinger there to flash under the white flag. Rocky Anderson signifying 1 lap to go for Grant Enfinger as he works his way through turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Just a half a lap from history here for Grant Enfinger as he makes his way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time in ARCA Racing Series history. Grant Enfinger going to win 3 in a row for the 2nd consecutive season. Grant Enfinger picking up the win in the Troop Aid 200.
This is truly remarkable. It took him 45 races, Charlie, to pick up career win number 1. Tonight sets history and wins number 10 here. The toll that he has put on the ARCA Racing Series, he has taken it by storm, solidifying his dominance in the series.
When we look at this race in the record books 5-10 years from now, it's going to show that Grant Enfinger started second and took 79 laps to work his way into the lead. But that's not what happened here tonight, Tim. He had to drop to the back of the field, started 30th position. It did take him 79 laps to work his way into the lead, but I'll tell you what, he was the dominant car here tonight. He led laps 79 through 133. They cycled through some pit stops. He took over the lead at lap 166, and as we see, Tim, he has raced his way into the history books. Grant Enfinger, the first driver in ARCA Racing history to win 3 consecutive races in 2 consecutive years. That's a lot of math for a guy like me. But
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This has been a special presentation of ABC Sports, spanning the globe to bring you the biggest of...
As the leader in sports television.